Spent the last 3-4 weeks finishing up my prep, and we're finally here. We're at the Arnold Classic. I just got in around noon, got up at 3 a.m. to get my 6:30 a.m. flight, and honestly, I'm really excited to be here. This is without a doubt the most relaxed I've ever been in a prep. Usually when I'm getting ready for a show, especially in the final weeks, and then, geez, like the week of the show, and then getting to the show, so nervous and stressed, and I haven't felt that way at all. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But seeing as this is the process, for me, when I get in this afternoon, I get settled, I set up shop. I've got to bring a couple suitcases with me, loaded primarily with food, for no other reason than, not that I don't trust the hotel food per se, but I have a sponsor that's awesome enough to support me in my endeavors and would cover the cost of it, but it's just so outrageous I can't see spending money like that. So I go to great lengths to bring all my food, and plus as a competitor, I know that it is what it's supposed to be. So I've got my food with me, and I'm pretty much self-sufficient at this point. From now until the show's over, I don't need anything from anybody, well, with the exception of a tan. So when I got here, one of the first things I did was shave my body, and been just trying to get my meals in. This time around, I've taken a little bit of a different approach. In the past, I don't know why 3 is usually the magic number, but most competitors usually will do like a 3-day carb up. If it's a Saturday show, they'll start on a Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they'll increase their carbohydrate intake. I've found in the past, I don't think that is enough. I do have a habit of coming into shows a little bit flat. And I found that usually the first day of a carb up doesn't do a whole lot. And usually the following day, being a Thursday, like today, traveling all day, right? So I've been up since 3 a.m., not getting a lot of sleep. In a little bit, I've got to go down for an athletes meeting and then a meet and greet with the fans. So it'll probably be late by the time I get to bed. So even though I'm eating quite a bit today, it doesn't get a chance to do a whole lot because, again, it's just my activity is really high. So what I did this year was I started on Monday. So rather than have 3 days of it, I've had, 5. I've already had, 3 really good days of carbon up. And although I'm a little bit, bloaty right now and a little bit fluid retentive, when I wake up in the morning, it's tight and it's hard and it's dense. And I'm, obviously always trying to hope for the best, result possible. You're always trying to improve things and make it a little bit better than the last time around. Speaking of, I think that I guess maybe one of the things I'm happiest about this time around, and this is kind of independent of the outcome of the show, is that I feel so good. I guess maybe I've proven to myself what some of the things I might not have to do to get myself in really good shape. And that's resulted in me feeling much, much better, feeling healthier, and I believe being healthier, which, to some competitors maybe is not the most important thing, but for me it is. And I do help a lot of people, and I do have a lot of interaction with aspiring bodybuilders. And one of the things that I think is really important to enforce is that health. Yeah, you're a competitor, but you want to remain healthy, not only because you want to live out the remaining days of your life on this earth intact, but because in order to be a good competitor and to perform at your best, I do believe you need to be healthy. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about. What will it look like on Saturday? We'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited. Sometimes there's a little bit of a disconnect between the bodybuilder in terms of the physical body and himself as a person, right? You're working on this project. You know, you're getting ready for this competition, and your body is the project. It's the product, right? And you sometimes will detach your feelings. You know, say, okay, well, yeah, in a normal person, you feel this way. You're hungry, or you don't want to lift this weight, or you don't want to do this second round of cardio. You don't want to do cardio at all. All these things, you know, that a normal person or a body would say not to do, but it becomes ingrained, I think, in most bodybuilders that to achieve what it is you want to achieve, that's just part of the process, right? That you have to endure those things, you have to go through those, you have to deal with, you know, I hate to sound dramatic, use the word deprivation, but there's some degree of, you know, doing without and sacrifice. It's, you know, in reality, a large part of it. And I think for me, someone who is, you know, to some degree, you know, health conscious, you're always trying to figure out just how detached do I have to be. You know, do I have to totally ignore the way that I feel, or is it actually important and beneficial for me to listen to my body to a degree and to take notes and listen to some of the hints that it's giving you? And I think that is true, but I also think it's a fine line because, you know, last night my family was eating Chinese food. So, man, I could really go for an order of, you know, General Tso's chicken. So that's what my body's telling me, but of course I'm not going to, you know, go down that road. So I think it's a fine line. There's a difference between what you need and what you might want. And I think that's really difficult as a bodybuilder to continue to figure out exactly what those two things are.